Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Eye on Icon, where we go around the ecosystem and talk to our builders. And I'm excited about today's interview because we have Frankie from Alter on the show. Frankie, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, yourself.
Yeah, good man, good. I've been I was really happy you reached out and excited to learn a lot more about what you're doing. Your project, your product was very unique as well. You're using NFTs and real world clothing, etc. And look, the fact of the matter is, Frankie, I don't know. I haven't kept up. I was telling you before the show, I really haven't kept up. So I'm really excited about this podcast because I know I'm going to get enlightened with what your project is doing. And I went and did a bit of, running around to just make sure I didn't come across as clueless. And there was so much there. And I was like, oh, yes, excellent. I'm excited about today. But Frankie, before we dive into it, let's learn a little bit about yourself, who you are, how you got into crypto.
Yeah, so I got back into it probably around about 2015.
Oh,
A family sort of a family member introduced me to a friend who was into sort of crypto, mainly Bitcoin, and yeah, I went down a rabbit hole from there. I mean, previous to that, I was more sort of stocks and shares and sort of trading
mm,
forex and stuff. So that's how the sort of introduction come across to the family friend.
yeah.
But yeah, then I sort of dived down the rabbit hole and sort of been there ever since.
Okay, cool. So, and how'd you get involved with Icon?
So right back from the ICO days, I got into the pre-sale, I believe it was at the time,
Yeah.
and I've been there since. I mean, at the time of that, I think that's when the sort of like the ICO craze back in sort of 2017, 18 was sort of quite hot. Um, and I had a group of sort of people that was sort of a little bit of a community, and we sort of went out, we sort of hunted, so to speak, for upcoming projects, and stumbled across Icon and a couple of others at the time. I think One Chain, and there
Yeah.
was a third. Yeah, as I say, being a sense, I've been sort of a more on the watching side, sort of, rather than the building side up until now.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, and this is the thing. As soon as applications, various applications started popping on to Icon, it started creating opportunities for everyone who were just holding the coin, not just to speculate on price, but actually get in there and start doing something. And that's what you've been doing. So, could you tell us about your project, what it is, how it came about?
Yeah, so last year around about February, I sort of wanted to sort of step into the sort of building space in terms of getting involved with the community a bit more, bringing a project to life. I wanted to create something in terms of fashion, which is I've had a little bit of dabbled in the past,
Hmm.
and sort of bring it with the blockchain. At the time, sort of NFTs were sort of like quite hot, sort of early last year, but I was more interested in the benefits and the sort of underlying utility rather than just the image itself. So I wanted to experiment and try sort of bring that into sort of the project itself.
Hmm.
So then I was sort of created, the idea was established. Then for the past sort of year and a half, it's been sampling, sort of getting everything sort of ironed out and how we want to bring utility to the NFTs.
Okay. So, so if I step back, your project is an NFT project that. So, if I were to ask you your elevator pitch, your one line, if you see someone and they say, "What's Alter?" What would you tell them?
Um, so I mean, the best
It,
way to probably describe it would be a community-driven streetwear brand, sort of kind of incorporating the blockchain and metaverse space.
yeah.
But what we're trying to sort of achieve is a lot sort of more than it, and I struggle to get it across via message.
Yep.
But we want to create something kind of unique that's sort of not been done before and push the boundaries of like what's possible with the NFTs and sort of what's possible with the metaverse where that's sort of up and coming. And I mean, with phase two of our project, we sort of dive a lot more into the sort of metaverse sort of side of the blockchain as well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I thought what we could do as well, Frankie, is work through a bit of your roadmap, because there's a lot happening with your project, and through various phases. So shall we quickly run through your roadmap, and then you can talk about if there's whitelists and things like that as we get through it?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, let's start with the first thing. What's the first part of phase one pre-sale? You're doing a drop package. I know at the moment it was scheduled for the 9th of June, but you did mention that that's going to be postponed for a little bit. So can you talk? Well, let's pause on the date. Let's not worry about that. But let's talk about what the Alter drop package is and how you can get one.
Yeah. So we believe sort of heavily in supporting early supporters and those who sort of initially invest, so to speak, into a project or a business or a company. So the NFT side of it is quite heavily utility based. It comes with a lot of benefits, but the physical package itself is a physical figure of the Alter avatar, a cap which sort of matches the physical cap that the figure's wearing.
Yeah.
And it comes with a few other miscellaneous bits. And the box itself is custom bespoke sort of for this package, and it can be used to display. But the NFTs, that's sort of more so where the benefits sort of come from with this first drop.
So is the phase one? Sorry, Frankie, if I interrupt, I don't mean it to be rude. So just trying to understand. So the first phase is you'll release an NFT that the users go and buy, or is it people who have registered will get awarded the NFT, and then part of that NFT they also get these products?
So the first drop's going to be, there's going to be 275 available to mint. There's going to be 300 total, and each one will be pegged to a physical product, and will be able to be sold on the chain.
Yep.
And but once you redeem it, you also get sent back a claimed version of the NFT. So you still keep all of your benefits and all the utility of the NFT, but you've claimed the physical. So the marketplace knows that separates the claimed and unclaimed version.
Okay. So yeah, I get it now. So you buy the NFT, part of that NFT, you also get a physical package. But say if I bought it and I've claimed my physical package, I still have the NFT on blockchain that can be resold. But obviously, the reselling component, then the product doesn't ship with it. It's only the NFT and all the features that it comes with.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so am I jumping the gun here if I say, so apart from the physical package and what you've just described, what is the other side of the NFT? So once someone has got it and decides to sell it after they've redeemed the physical contents, what is the other side? What benefits do the other side give?
So the NFT itself comes with quite a few benefits. So you've got your general benefits that we're going to be having, and that's sort of 30% discount on the Alter streetwear itself. So like the physical caps and eventually hoodies and so on.
So on that one, Frankie, I'll keep interrupting. Apologies. So that you'll have a separate store set up. Is that supposed to? Because obviously, what you said with the initial mint, and you'll have the streetwear they get delivered. But outside of this, will you have a storefront where people can actually go and buy the streetwear?
Yeah. So we're going to be setting up, well, it's already set up, a physical sort of more. So you can go there, purchase the physical with either crypto or fiat payment.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it is to kind of bring it into sort of the real world to try and get retail into this blockchain by sort of like piquing their interest, so to speak. So each physical product, so a cap, for example, will come with an NFT to verify ownership and eventually be used to be redeemed for a metaverse wearable.
Okay, so this is what you're saying is if I were to just go to the store and buy a hat, part of that process would involve me getting an NFT minted and given to me.
Yeah, so it's not necessary, so you don't have to have it, but it's there and it's a free extra. So the
Yeah, yeah,
idea is like, hopefully people see it, it piques their interest, and then they sort of go on to buy it.
yeah. That makes sense. Okay, cool. No, see, I didn't know that. This is why I'm probing you so much, Frankie. I haven't kept up with the project. I apologize. The other thing, Frankie, it is CPS funded, right? I do recall you going for CPS funding. Have I got that wrong?
Yep. So we're CPS funded. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. That's a great thing, and calling that out as a positive. Okay, cool. Uh, so now with phase one, just coming back to the roadmap, I know we jumped all over the place, but we got a lot there. So NFTs, the initial launch will be you get an NFT with the packs that you mentioned. There'll be 275 of them of the 300. Have I got that right?
Yeah. So there's going to be 275 available sort of for minting, and we're holding 25 back for sort of giveaways and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, awesome. At the same time, so there will be an online store. Actually, I was just asking Frankie, do you have the link to that store? Did you say it's up and running already?
Yeah, I'm just sending it over now. It does still need a little bit of twinking, so it's not live for purchases, but yeah, it's
Okay.
large to have a look at.
Okay, cool. I'm going to save that for the. I could have done this after. I was going to share it, but I'll look at it and share it in the show notes as well. But okay, so that's cool. So even if you're not part of the initial 275, there's going to be a store that you can just go and buy the clothing products. And what's cool is you are trying to integrate blockchain. It is integrated. The NFTs are integrated, but they're not being forced on people. So there are a lot of people who may just stumble on and purchase and have no idea what crypto is. That's fine. They can do that. But people who do will realize they can redeem what they purchase as an NFT on the blockchain, which then has metaverse implications, which we'll touch on soon. Is there anything else apart phase one that we need to talk about here or we haven't covered?
Yeah, so quite a few of the other benefits that the initial NFT comes with in phase one. So we plan on having profit share of actual real world business growth. So depending on how profit is with the sale of the physical caps and physical products, a percentage of that will be distributed to the NFT holders.
Oh, okay, yep.
And then we also got on top of that, we've got royalty share of the secondary market NFT fees. And you'll get airdrops and metaverse compatible NFT, which will launch in phase two.
Yeah.
And then we also plan.
What was that last part? Compatible what? Sorry, Frankie?
So a metaverse compatible NFT. So
Okay.
we've partnered with I'm going to probably butcher this word.
It's all good.
It's Eclitria.
Yes. Don't worry, Frankie. You're talking about to the king of butcher of words and names. So, yes, I know the one that came out of the dev. Yes, exactly, the hackathon. Yeah, I've been seeing awesome work from them.
Yeah, so we've partnered with them to sort of get a metaverse shop up and running when they've sort of launched, and to have a alter metaverse avatar, so you could walk around as the alter figure itself. And we've got quite a lot planned with that in phase two.
So can I ask, like with the profit share, so how is that is there a certain batch of NFTs that will only qualify for that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's only going to be available for the initial 300. So the first drop in phase one is going to be the one that gets the profit share. Because going back to where we said at the start, we sort of heavily believe into supporting early supporters, those who supported us, and yeah.
And just thinking on that, just because you're going down that model, what's cool is that the original owners also have a way of influencing the success of the business, because if they actually promote the storefront and just the branding for the clothing, the more sales, etc., then obviously that'll flow back to them. Yeah.
So, and we've got a couple of other things with that. I mean, one I've not announced yet, and I've been waiting still come
Ooh.
on here to announce it.
Yes, go on.
Yeah, I know how much you like your alpha.
Oh, dude.
So with the initiative for the first phase, it will also get a percentage of every sale thereafter in terms of NFT. So with our second drop in phase 2, which will be 4,444 metaverse avatars,
Mm-hmm.
we've not shown an exact percentage, but we're thinking around about sort of 10-15%, which gets generated via that sale, go back to the original NFT holders.
So you're saying the minting of the next stat collection of 4,000, that
Yeah.
also the OGs will get a
Yeah,
share.
they get a sort of, they
That's
get a
pretty
share
big,
of it.
huge. Okay. And so people by now listening will go, is there still spots left? Is all the 275 whitelisted, or will they just be up for sale?
So with the whitelisting, we've got 90 slots that we've set aside for the whitelisting, and you're allowed to mint up to 3 per sort of whitelist spot. At the moment, we're at around about 70. So we've got around about 20 spots left available, which we'll be doing for giveaways, events, participation, community, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's still a few spots available. But we've done a survey around about a month or two back for the whitelist, and on average, people want around about 2. So even with the whitelist, there'd be some spare for the public sale.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's talk about. You mentioned about the metaverse, and well, actually, I want to talk about the second collection. So the 4,000, the avatars. Now, is that the avatars for the metaverse that you partnered with, or is it more? How's that come into the picture?
So the 4,444, it gets broken down into 12 crews, so to speak, and it will be sort of compatible with that metaverse itself. So you could go into that metaverse as that avatar and sort of just generally explore. We're going to potentially have a shop in there, like a mall where you can come into purchase. We're planning on purchasing real life clothing down the line as well in the metaverse.
Yep. What about, so with these avatars? Say I've purchased the avatar, I'm in the metaverse. I've also purchased a hat, a top, and the various things via the site and collected the NFT versions. Can I dress my avatar with that?
Yeah. So the physical real life clothing, say it does come with a metaverse compatible version. So you'll be able to dress up your avatar with that, and we'll also be doing exclusive metaverse wearable drops, specifically for the metaverse.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
for certain crews and stuff. Because with the crews, we've got a leveling system. So there's a total of 11 crews, and each crew, they can work together as sort of a community to level up their crew. And the higher up they go, so one unlockable content will be metaverse pets.
Okay.
So if they reach a certain level, they unlock that, and we create it, send it off completely free for reaching that sort of level,
So
and so on.
Frankie, tell me, I haven't understood the concept of crews. So what is the crew aspect of it? Is it groupings of? Actually, I'll let you talk to it.
Yeah. So let's say there's going to be 11 crews in total. Each crew will roughly have 444 members, other than 2 crews which will have less.
Okay.
And each crew, let's say there's 444, they can work together as a community doing certain events and tasks that we have, and sort of milestones that we set. And once they hit those sort of milestones as a community, their whole entire crew, so to speak, levels up.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, say if they hit that metaverse pet, all 444 will receive that.
Yeah.
And then so on up until sort of like a few of the higher tiers, we've got metaverse sort of hangout, so to speak, which is specific to that sort of crew. So if you've got a different NFT or a different crew, you're not allowed into the specific crew house.
Yep. Okay. So it's a gamification. Yeah, the collection of avatars will then have they're all in teams, and you're gamifying the way so that they can do things or activities to hit certain milestones, etc. From what you described. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So it's not just, oh, here's the avatars, now go, and no one knows what to do. You're kind of putting some milestones in place to guide people and work together and build that whole community.
Yeah, and each avatar in phase 2 we plan on sort of launching our token, and again, similar to a few other projects about that, they generate them daily kind of thing.
Okay. See, it's like you're intentionally just dropping alpha here and there. Token, you say? Go on.
Yeah, so we haven't finalised our tokenomics, and we are going to be releasing a white paper for a more in-depth sort of dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the sort of tokenomics that we have so far is they generate them daily, and the idea behind it is so if you have this metaverse avatar, you can eventually say it might take a month, but generate enough tokens to purchase a meta wearable to sort of improve your avatar.
Okay.
Rather than sort of buying with, say, your own money, you can hold the avatar and you can just purchase from that.
Yep. So your avatar will generate you the token. The token can be used strictly for, apart from other stuff. One of the main use cases will be purchasing metaverse NFTs, and things, wearables for the avatar, etc.
Yeah, sort of wearables for the avatar, and we've got certain sort of mechanics involved with it to kind of help with the price of it. We didn't want to just create a token for creating a token with no reason or any means of kind of keeping it sustained in terms of pricing. So with it, we're going to be airdropping a month's worth of supply when the token is created to the holders to sort of create enough liquidity there and to sort of kickstart a more sort of stabilized price while the sort of mechanics kick in.
So is this the sorry, Frankie, is this the holders, the original of the 275 and the avatar mint?
So this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. So the original sort of 275, 300 NFTs, they'll be able to claim their own amount in their own right via a burnable value.
Okay.
So we're setting aside with them so they could eventually burn their entire NFT, the original one. So it would take one out of circulation for X amount of these tokens.
Oh, okay.
Whereas,
for the.
so it creates a kind of gamification around the original drops, because if, say, 50%, I mean, it's quite a high amount to be burning, but say 50% burn, that means there's only 150. So the rewards, so profit share and everything like that, aren't as diluted. So the rewards increase, therefore could potentially increase the value of the NFT itself.
But why would they give up a revenue share?
In terms of that, I think it's going to be more of a short-term gratification versus long-term sort of like gain.
Okay.
Because the Alta token short-term might be worth, say, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% higher than the NFT value until it catches up.
Okay. And would it be different because he explained the original will be, with the physical attachment, a real world, and then once that's been shipped, the NFT won't have that component attached to it. So obviously the burnable may give different redeem amounts, right? Depending on if the real life goods have been claimed versus haven't.
Yeah. So in terms of that, the way we was going to kind of get around that was because if someone burns the one with the physical, we're going to still have the physical. So, and then obviously we don't want to just sort of throw it away. So what we was going to do was going to sort of, in the sort of term, so to speak, if you burn it with the physical, you will get more tokens, but we get the right to sort of give the physical package away to sort of someone.
Yeah.
Either via an event or something, or they get like the first choice to sort of give it to someone.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. Okay. So phase 2 is all around the avatar, the cell of the avatar, setting up the avatar in the metaverse, and all around what they can do, the crews, the leveling up, things like that. Is there anything else as part of phase 2 that we haven't covered?
So let me have a look quick.
And obviously phase 2 is the other part is the token, the actual token. This is different to the NFTs, which sounds interesting. So, and you mentioned the tokens as purchasing stuff in game. Is there anything else that you haven't said that could be utility for the token?
So to start, the sort of say main utility for the token is going to be solely to purchase metaverse wearables and stuff like that. But one of the mechanics that we've got in place to kind of say sustain a price, because there's going to be constant inflation due to each NFT generating them daily. So to counter that, each metaverse wearable sale, 50% will be used to buy back and burn. Whether that be people buying with Icon or buying with our token, we'll be using 50% to buy back our token to burn to kind of counter inflation. The other 50% will be distributed to 10% will be going back to the CPS fund.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Another percentage will be going again back to the original 300 holders of the original NFT. Another percentage is going to a community fund, sort of like a DAO. And the last percentage will be going to, we're not 100% sure yet on this, but we've got a plan for having like a lossless lottery. So if you was to stake the token itself, you get entered into like a lottery system, which there's no loss, but it kind of helps keep the circulating supply down.
No, I've seen that concept used a fair bit. It's quite successful. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot of I think I like the idea of the buyback. So what about your liquidity? How are you solving that issue?
Yeah, so when we launch the token, we're thinking of launching with X amount to sort of lock into a liquidity pool. And again, we're not 100% sure on the tokenomics yet, but a percentage might go back into the liquidity of sales.
No, that's good. It's a tricky one. I get it. I've had a few conversations around different tokenomics around this, but an important one to factor in, because I think as this DeFi and stuff is evolving, you kind of want to figure out how to not be in the where you want to incentivize liquidity. For example, you don't want to be reliant on people providing liquidity for more rewards. That's just my personal view. You want to create a system where you're removing that, and that's where, with Karma Finance and stuff like that, you'll see. But again, then you're at the mercy of and going through. Mercy is a terrible word, but going through them. So especially at the launch, if you can create a system where predefined amount.
I think it's a lot more sort of efficient in terms of long-term growth, let's say, because you don't want to be providing. I mean, when you're staking, so to speak, in liquidity pools and LP pools, as soon as the sort of percentage of return drops for the investor, they sort of start pulling out and decreasing the liquidity in the pool, and can kind of get into like a vicious cycle.
Exactly, and cool. Okay. So there's a lot happening on that front. I like the idea. You're right. How long will the token emit for? Have you? Or not yet?
We haven't fully decided yet, and the reason being is because where we've got a 50% burn in place, we're not sure how effective that will be. So in terms of, we don't want to sort of put a cap, so only minting them for 1 year, so to speak, and then within that year, loads and loads start getting burnt due to the sort of purchasing of the meta wearables. And then we just have to recreate another system to introduce more tokens. So at the moment, it's going to sort of be ongoing for sort of a couple of years until we sort of see where we stand in terms of the burnable amount.
Okay, cool. I see. Because you also want to ensure people are using it, right? It's not. I mean, this is a terrible example, but originally, like when GBet was getting emitted, well, to this date, I've barely used or burnt any of my GBet. But that idea, well, got to hold this because it's shrinking supply. Your goal here with the token is to make sure people are actually going in the metaverse and using it to buy and decking out their avatars and walking around like that. That to you is what defines success. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole sort of goal of it is we want people to be using the sort of token to be purchasing, not just metaverse wearables. Say down the line, we want to sort of experiment in having sort of being able to buy the physical product also on chain.
Yep.
So whether that be just a normal NFT or going into the metaverse shop, trying something on, and kind of ordering the physical version in
Mm,
chain or on
mm.
chain, and then again using those tokens to kind of buy back, burn a percentage.
Yeah, yeah. But with the physical verse, you'll still use the token, or the second that you know. So, for example, I know what you're saying. Like, you go into the metaverse, there's a cool jacket, you try it on, you're like, yeah, awesome. And the best part is you can buy that jacket in real life. So once it comes to the real life component, uh, you're still going to be able to utilize the token, or that would need to be like ICX or BUSD or something like that.
We are planning on to sort of implement the token as a payment as well in real life.
Okay.
So you could go on the shop, and we're going to have certain incentives. Sort of like if you use the token, you get sort of 10% discount on the physical product.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay, got it. So, yeah, that's cool. All these things, all these little things add extra layers of utility to the token. So, pretty cool. Okay. So, okay, back to phase two. I know I keep jumping. Let's see. I warned you. As soon as I learn, I'll keep asking a ton of questions. What else in phase two? So, launch of the metaverse. Then I noticed launch of the drop package, chapter two, alongside the physical hoodies. What's that about?
So the way we're launching the physical brand, is in sections. The first section will be the caps, and they'll be launching with the first avatar,
Yep.
which will be the newspaper version. That's sort of the introduction to the story. And the second drop will be hoodies, and that will be the introduction of the second package. There'll be another 300 of those, but the utility for the NFT won't be the same. So the utility for that NFT will more than likely be a sort of 20% discount on physical products and a few other sort of benefits. Again, because we don't want to dilute the original too much
Mm-hmm.
in terms of profit share. We don't want to give every NFT after profit share because it ends up becoming to the point where the profit share is not really worth having.
That's what. Yeah, I was curious on that. So, regardless, you could do like 6 phases hypothetically with new, physical goods attached to the NFT, but always after anything after phase one won't share the same.
Benefits.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to sort of keep the original, the one with most utility, most benefits, and again, we really don't want to dilute any sort of the profit share or rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the whole point why we're potentially looking at introducing the burn mechanism for the NFT down the line when the token comes about. So you could burn it for say 1,000 Alta tokens. Say if the Alta token's $1 each, you could say sell it for $1,000, and if the NFT itself at the time is worth say $500, it sort of it tends to take time to catch up. I got inspired with that kind of mechanics by, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's called Pack, and he's in the NFT space, and he's done a similar mechanic where he created his NFT, and he also created a burnable value for a token he created. So in a sense, it gives that the physical, the NFT itself, the original one, a burnable value. So if down the line you want to sort of like cash in, it's a little bit more liquid. So with NFTs, they're not always that liquid to sell.
Yep. I get it. So,
Whereas coins tend to be a lot more liquid to sort of cash in, sort of thing.
yeah. So basically, like for example, the NFT may have a price of, let's just say 5,000 ICX, right? And but that is very much subject to when a buyer comes along and is willing to pay that. If that's the floor price, and we know these sales don't happen just instantly. So the other solution is what by doing this burn mechanic, especially if the token you're getting the value similar or more, it enables the user to go, no, I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to burn it and then cash out via.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of quick liquidity.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I no, I did not know if that is something you've enlightened me with. Thanks, Frankie. Okay, that's good. I like it. Okay, so okay, phase 2. Now, what about? Let's. I think that's 2 phases. That's good. Let's stop there. So now I know there's been some changes. Frankie, do you want to tackle a little bit of that? Because I know originally we touched on this. The 9th of June was the phase 1, but that's been postponed a little bit.
Yeah. So we're now aiming to sort of launch end of June, early July. The reason for postponing is because we're waiting to launch via the sort of upcoming craft program. They've got like a pre-sale mint website they're working on, sort of that makes it a lot more seamlessly, so you don't need as much code knowledge.
Yep.
When we plan on launching through that, it's not currently done. So as soon as that's done, we're sort of going to announce the date and move forward. But hopefully, end of the month, sort of early July.
Cool. And what about one thing I've always been curious about, because you're going to be shipping products. How has the shipping scene been? Given it's not going to be UK, it's going to be all around the world. Has that been a bit challenging, or is it quite simple these days?
Cost more so than anything. I mean, cost for shipping at the moment it just keeps going up at the minute. But for the physical packages, when we have the redemption form, the sort of person redeeming it will have to pay the postage at the time. We were originally going to include it in the original pre-sale price, the sort of the original NFT price itself, and then we'd just do the minting ourselves, either shipping ourselves. But the problem is the uncertainty of the postage cost at the time and where it's being sent to, and everything like that. And we didn't want to increase the price of the NFT because not everyone will want to redeem it.
Yeah.
And we want to try to keep the mint price as low as we can because the physical cost of the actual product is quite high, mainly due to the figure itself.
Okay. So if they choose to redeem, there will be shipping on top.
There'll be shipping fees
based on locations. Okay. Now that's good to know, and quite understandable. Because you're right. What if people don't redeem, and you've included, an average of shipping fees? That's not fair on everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. So then coming back to. So while we wait for craft, and if someone's just heard this podcast and they want to get involved, what would you tell them steps to secure themselves part of phase 1 phase 1? Yeah, what would you tell them to do?
The best thing to do is to sort of join the Discord or follow us on Twitter, and we're always doing sort of giveaways and events and stuff like that. So we've got around about 20 whitelist spots still available. So there's still a chance to get involved, and there will be some on the public sale. Because the way we've designed it and the survey that we've done suggests that there's going to be some available for the public.
Okay, great. Cool. Okay, so I know I've stuck with the 2 phases, but I did notice on the site there was more after that. Is there anything you wanted to talk through around that?
Yep. So, I mean, there's a couple of things we've got sort of going on. We've also got the community badges, which we're calling the NFT Altarian badges.
Yeah.
They're all being distributed, no cost. We're not selling them. They're only being given out to sort of participants, community events, and again, stuff like that. They play a part in phase 2. So a part of the sort of leveling the crews up, one of the sort of milestones will be to collect so many of these badges, and then your crew sort of levels up from there. They will also play a part in the initial minting, so you'll get either a discount or a couple for free if you hold so many.
Okay. Yep. And so the badges are NFT badges, and so what you're saying is don't be lazing around. Get in there, get involved with the community because you're going to get these for free, and they're going to help you in the future. Crews, discounts on future mints, and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. Did not know that. I'm in the Discord. I'll say I'll try to get more engaging. Get myself a badge.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? I mean, you don't feel. I feel like you've dished a ton today. Like my brain is still kind of processing everything. That's why I brought it back to basics. Like as you've heard, everyone would have listened to this podcast and go, "Whoa!" Well, I didn't realize, especially the token and all that side of things. Even the metaverse, I didn't quite follow. Now it's kind of all clicked in my mind. I really love I love how all this is happening, but at the same time, there's just going to be a storefront where someone can go and buy. And indirectly, any of the NFT holders, especially at phase one, it's in the best interest if they want to promote the store just to front, hey, check out this cool clothing brand, etc., because they're going to get a slice of the pie as well. So I really love all those things, and I did not know that about the project. I warned you I didn't know a lot about the project, so consider myself enlightened. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
Just having a look through now, just to sort of.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure I've probably missed a bunch of information.
There's a lot there. That's why I'm not zeroing in on anything more.
So I think we've covered most of it.
So then, okay. What is? I mean, I will have this episode out by tomorrow. So, what current giveaways are going on? What activities are happening this week with Alter that people should be on the lookout for and partake in to qualify for spots or any of the giveaways?
So we just done 2 weeks of events and giveaways, a week on Twitter, a week on Discord. But when this sort of comes out, I'll do another event and giveaway to get another whitelist spot and an NFT badge.
Cool. And with the metaverse side of it, have you gotten any insight? Oh, look at me digging for alpha here. Have you gotten any insights on when the metaverse that you're partnering with is scheduled to launch? Have they given you a rough timeline?
They've not given me a rough time, but they are getting on with it. I mean, they seem to be a cracking team, and they've helped me out a lot with sort of getting involved and getting sort of started. But yeah, I mean, by the looks of what they sort of put on Twitter and what they sort of sharing in their Discord, they're not waiting about.
No, I've definitely noticed they're moving very quickly since the hackathon. So yeah, that was me just being cheeky to see if I could get something else off another project. But okay, cool. No, that's good. I think that's great. I think anyone listening to the podcast is going to get a really good overview. What I'll get you to do, Frankie, is as well give me the Discord link so I can attach them in the show notes. Anyone listening, your first point of thing is getting involved. Get into the Discord so you can ask questions and find out things and see what's going on. So that's what I would encourage everyone to do. If you are interested after listening to this in the whitelist, getting involved, just seeing when the project launches, getting those dates as soon as they know when the craft features are activated. But apart from that, anything else, Frankie, you want to call out? Closing words?
Not that I can think of at the moment. No, there's probably going to be loads that come to me after. I'll have to rewatch it and keep it. I'll have to sort of rewatch it back, see how much I've butchered it.
No. Look, honestly, a ton of great content. Ton of great insights about your project has come out. And one thing I didn't zone in on, and I am going to zone in on now. You mentioned that part of your goal as well is to give a small percentage back to CPS?
Yeah. So that will come from the meta wearable sales. We plan on sort of distributing 10% back to the CPS fund as kind of a thank you sort of for kickstarting the project.
So is this something that was in the proposal? Have you made noise about it?
It wasn't in the proposal. The reason being is because we wasn't too sure on the phase 2 side of everything, the sort of meta wearables and stuff like that, until it's Electra come about and started diving more into the metaverse, and we realised it was actually possible to sort of do a lot sooner than later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from the beginning of the CPS proposal, the idea behind it, and I've mentioned it a few times in the Discord, that I believe a project that sort of got funded by the CPS, if they can potentially sort of reward or give back to the CPS, I just believe it sort of results in stronger growth in the ecosystem.
Yep. Look, that's why I'm asking. I think it's fantastic. I think we're just seeing a lot of taking and constant taking. So if projects like yours that take and build and create something and then, give back, it's enabling more creators, more builders on Icon to happen a lot quicker because there's more funds coming into CPS. So I personally think you should advertise this a lot more. I think I can only think of one or two other projects that are doing this. And when I heard of it, I was like, hat off to you. Thank you very much. More should follow. So yeah, definitely something to scream about.
Yeah, we're working on our white paper and our roadmap, sort of a more in-depth one.
Yeah.
We hope to have it released sort of later this month. So we're going to include a lot more broken down details and try to make things a little bit more clear, because I'm not too great at kind of always getting the message across, say via messages and stuff like that. So I mean, it's helped a lot being on here to sort of get certain things across a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Look, even at the start, like that's why I asked you. I was cutting you off, didn't mean to, but intentionally because of trying to stream it out and make sense in my mind. But yeah, definitely have a great overview of the project and what you're trying to build. There's so many things, man. You've given so much. You don't even realize it. Like the tokenomics, I could quiz you on it for another hour or so, or share ideas and have thoughts around it. So I'm kind of quite excited about that. Especially the burn component you spoke about. I didn't understand its exact use case. Got it a little bit, but then you really painted the picture of that other project and how they utilized it and kind of connected a few dots for me there. So that was really good. Look, we'll stop there. I think, Frankie, you did great. Okay, I know you were a bit nervous at the start of this interview as well. You were telling me that.
Yeah.
Could not tell. It was like you were a seasoned veteran doing these interviews. So great work, man. And everyone listening, again, jump in Discord, ask some questions on the comments if you've listened and you aren't sure. If you don't want to join Discord, and some people just don't want to get involved, feel free to ask those questions. I'll take it to Frankie and get some answers as well in the YouTube comments. Thanks, man, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me on, us. Because I've been meaning to get on here for a while, but my nerves kept getting the better of me.
Yes, look, no, you're fine. I know ages ago, like this is something, apologies, Donnie reached out, and at the time there were a few things happening and I couldn't do it. But I'm sorry about that as well. So really happy that you came on. Yeah, look, exciting times, guys. I'm gonna, after this, I'll quiz you about the whitelist. But everyone listening, please like, share, subscribe. Again, we have a unique use case utilizing NFT and merging the real world with products and things like that. So, and then the metaverse gets involved, and it just, you've got a complete sense after listening to this interview, some of the cool things that Alter are doing. So make sure you get in there, get yourself on the whitelist, like, subscribe, share this content so people can discover it as well. Take care, everyone.
Take care.